Greetings and welcome to Breaktime. Today's proverb you can find in 17:21. It says, "To have a fool for a child brings grief. There is no joy for the parent of a godless fool." Oh, what grief parents often experience because of a wayward child. Now we have to define fool according to how Solomon defines fool, and that is someone that has turned their back on the Lord, has walked away from righteousness. And often in a parental situation, it gets really difficult because these children have been trained in the ways of the Lord. They've heard the truth, and now they've decided to walk away. Reminds me of the prodigal son. Solomon actually had a son that did this to him as well, turned around and walked away, and actually went after Solomon. I can't imagine the pain that he would have experienced, or the pain that some of us are probably experiencing as well because our child has turned around and walked away. But what often happens is the first thing that we go to is blaming ourselves. We take the blame, thinking we've done something wrong, raising our children, that I've done this myself. Where have I gone wrong? Instead of putting the responsibility on the child, I take the responsibility. And I do believe the Lord is saying no. It is not our responsibility when our children turn around and walk away. We train our children, and then there's times where we just have to let them go and let them walk in the steps that they've been trained to walk in. And when they don't, that's not our role, our responsibility to feel the grief. And I know that grief happens. It's part of these expectations that we have of our children. And so when they don't walk in that way, we get grief stricken. And it's an awful feeling. It's very heavy. But here's an awesome answer to this. The Lord knows exactly how we feel. He raised children. He put two inside of a beautiful, beautiful place. And as a result of that place, they still did what? They still turned their back. They still chose the opposite of what the Lord told them not to do. So he knows exactly how you feel. And you know, the interesting thing about that is the Lord didn't take blame. He put the blame back on them, did he not? And so I believe that's our same role. We are not to take the blame for our children's irresponsibility for being foolish. We are to allow them to make their own decisions, and it's very grief-striking, I know, but there is one thing that you can always count on, that the Lord is there with you. He knows exactly how you feel. So I'm going to challenge us all today to lay down the blame, to not carry around this burden of asking the question, where did I go wrong? But lay that question down today before the Lord and have a blessed day as you do it and experience that freedom. Amen.